Hi, this is Volleyball Explained Podcast, and after a short break with Ronnie, we are going to comment on the European title of Poland. That was a fact yesterday with their very convincing victory against Italy. Of course, many other topics related to the European Championship men, also women, and the Olympic qualifier in the women's section started. So. First of all, Ronnie, how are you? And did you watch, of course, the match yesterday?
Yes, of course. I watch because of Wilfredo Leon, nothing else. I don't feel the need to support any of those teams. But since we are talking about high level volleyball, I think it was my duty as a fan, to watch the semifinals and some games of the quarterfinal, of course, the finals. Yeah, it was no doubt unquestionable victory from Poland. I was, thinking that Italy could have been somehow better, but they couldn't face the power serve of the Poles, and well, when in this volleyball, if you don't have passing or you are not capable of answer to that powerful serves, is half of the game down. So yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah, uh, probably the most impressive factor of the win of Poland yesterday, of course, was their serving. The first middle attack of Italy came in 9-11 in the second set. So for a set and a half almost, they didn't have one single attack in the middle, and altogether they increased that number in the third set when the Polish serve was not that consistent, especially the strong serve, because I believe Norbert Huber, the middle blocker, ended with 6 aces, which I don't think he has done in any moments before in his career. Of course, the level of serving of the other players, especially Wilfredo Lone, was also great. So serve was the most important factor. But before going to serve, because I want to make a small topic within the podcast about serving in volleyball in general, in lately. What do you think is the most important reason for the domination of Poland? They won the VNL. They won now also the European Championship. 2 times world champion in the last 9 years. Also finalists in the last world championship.
Well, I think is the finally the consistency of some of the key players. I believe also that giving the chance or the opportunity, as you prefer to say it, to a man like Kaczmarek in the left is he, it has been a good choice, knowing that Kurek is aging and he has responded very good. You know that for years Poland was seeking that next opposite after Kurek, and sometimes they had the chance to test like 3, 4. You remember Musa? You remember Konarski? Others? I mean, and of course the good passing from Wilfredo Leon, who finally stepped up. He was the MVP of the finals. He also played a very good semifinal, and I think Poland needed that Wilfredo show what he's capable of. I know he's a player that he's 30 years old, but he has been around since early 2010s. When he was like 14 or 15 years. So I explain this to many people, but they don't seem to understand that even if Wilfredo is 30 years old, his body, his knees are not from a man of 30 years old. He is physically older. So yeah, finally he had impressive serve matches, and yeah, of course the deep on the roster that Poland have is very impressive too. I don't think no other team can match this. The only point of let's say interrogation is what will happen if Russia could be able to play this tournament, because I think the styles are very similar. Very good teams on serve, powerful attacks. Maybe the Russian doesn't have that deep that Poland have, but they were the best team this time, and finally got a victory over Slovenia. It seems that that there are matchups that for incredible that you might think are hard for one team, and one of them was Slovenia facing Poland. From Polish players, there was like a mental blockade, and finally they surpassed that, but without giving a fight, because Slovenia won a set, tried to win another, and yeah, but it was a good match. It was a good match.
To what you said, I would add two things. Firstly, the long bench, because for sure there is no other team that is having that long of a bench with amazing outside hitters, Tomasz Fornal, Kamil Semenyuk, and Bartosz Bednosh. Bartosz Bednosh didn't play a lot in this European Championship, especially. I'm not sure about the group phase because I didn't watch any matches of Poland in the group phase, but 1/8 finals, quarterfinals, semi-final, and final. I watched the matches, and I'm not sure if he played at all.
I think
This is a very good perspective, because when you have a player like Bednosh not playing, how better are the other ones?
yeah, this is a very good point, because they bring three middle blockers.
Yeah.
Norbert Huber, Kochanowski, and Karol Klos. Uh,
No Bienek. Yeah.
Novianic for injury reasons,
Yeah.
but they had the chance to bring five outside hitter, as you mentioned: Bednors, Fornar, Sligwa, Semenyuk, and Wilfredo Leon. I think those five players could make the starting roster of every big club at this moment. So
And national
yeah,
team, if
yeah,
they if they are
yeah,
eligible. Yeah.
yeah. And the only lack position they have now is the opposite, because even the Kurek is, let's not say badly injured. He is in his final year. He's he is not in a really good shape, but as I mentioned before, Lukasz Kaczmarek stepped up to the task and did it pretty well. Yeah, that's it. Every side out that Janusz could put the hands on, he was like almost 100% making a point of it. So yeah, very lucky guy to work with such a talented group, indeed.
Yeah, the other player I would like to mention, of course, is Alexander Slivka. After their success in the VNL, I posted unpopular opinion. Slivka is the best player in the world now. Of course, what I mean is a complex player, because he's giving the balance to that team. He's receiving, he's attacking, he's defending. He's the second setter when the first setter Janos is defending the first ball. So another reason for Poland having that balance that before in some way was given to the team by Michał Kubiak. Now Slivka is the man who does it. Okay, enough with Poland, but let's talk about Italy also, because Italy, even though they was not able to defend their European title from 2021, now
They reached
they
the
are
final again.
yeah, they reached the final. They are the reigning world champions. But do you think that Italy could have performed better, and how they could develop in the next years? Because they have the talent. They have Bovolenta, Rinaldi, and so many other players.
Of course, assuming that first of all, Balasso didn't have a good match. He was always searched by the serve, the other team serve. But taking off that, I think they have a team for the years to come. I don't have any doubt that they at some point dominate some part of this decade. Maybe after Paris, maybe before LA, but they also have deep in the ranks. Janelli is only 27, 26, something like that, 21. I don't know. He born in 96, so yeah, he have 28. And the only problem with Italy is opposite. There is not consistency on that left side. Many people say that Bovolenta will be the savior, just like his father was in the 90s. But we will need to wait. Bovolenta, I think he's not the. He still have to manage some pressure. Of course, that comes with the age, and yeah, I think they have a team for the future. Things didn't go well this time. We have to remember that last European Championship they didn't face, for my opinion, any strong team. We have to take into consideration also that it was after the Olympic Games. Many teams didn't care too much. Of course, it wasn't their fault, but teams like Russia played with no desire. Poland also was a very disappointing team because they didn't have a medal in Tokyo. But overall, yeah, they just need to improve more. They have more experience. Micheletto was excellent. Lavia also help him. As you mentioned, Rinaldi is a very good backup, and other players that might come. It is in fact a very young group. And as I mentioned, my only concern with the national team of Italy is the middle blockers. Of course, they seem too very squishy for my taste. Even though that Galassi has proven that he can be a reliable person, especially in attack. But I don't know, Russo had a minor injury over Netherlands. Then you have Ansani unable to play due to health reasons. Yeah, it's not a very depth position in this Italian national team. Everything else, I think they have very covered, especially the libero and the setter position. Because even when people don't think that Sbertoli is a good setter, he can be a very good server player as well. So yeah, more time. They didn't play too bad. Just Poland was better. Same happened to USA in the VNL final. They didn't play too bad, but when you have Poland with every position covered, with every gun that they have, yeah, it's hard to win.
Yeah, it's curious that the successfulness and the efficiency of the attack of Italy yesterday was better than Poland's,
Mhm.
55% to 51 successfulness. So that's strange. So the main factor when you come to the statistics is the serve. 11 aces to 3, probably also the quality of the other serves. But anyway, I'm sure that Nicola would have a lot to say when he's back in the podcast. I hope this is going to be very soon. So my next point is a question, and the question is, how does serve change volleyball in your opinion? Because in my opinion, I would express it after you. There is a big difference in the last 2 3 years.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think people have to at some point stop to develop those server receive specialists. We have more teams caring more about offense than be that complete guy, as you mentioned, Sligwa, players like Mauricio Borges or Jiva, or who knows, players coming on and coming out. And when you only have the libero and two offensive guys with limited skills in passing, the serve of the other team can do some damage, especially one like Wilfredo Leon. There is not too many guys that can serve over 130 kilometers per hour. Maybe Nimir, maybe TJ DeFalco, maybe Lopez from Cuba, Leon, of course. But yeah, the other thing is uh, now all the teams want to have an advantage, let's say an edge, uh, and the serve is the first attack. As you know, volleyball has changed so much. He has become more physical, less technique, although there are players that still develop these ABC or fundamentals. Don't know how you call it, but you have like an incredible outside hitter like Alexander Nikolov, and he barely knows how to pass. He's good in serve, he's good in attacking, decent in blocking, even though he's like 18 years old. But passing, he needs to improve that if he doesn't want to change to opposite, because I think this will be a very like his father. This can become a thing. He turning an opposite, but he's good that he only have 18 years old, so he have time to develop and become a more let's say complete player. I don't expect, of course, in some cases change might happen, but in this particular case, I don't see him to become a passing specialist. This is one of the problems. Of course, I changing now the topic, especially talking about Bulgaria. Bulgaria have decent outside hitters. Maybe they are not the best in their leagues. Maybe some of them are, but I don't see any passing specialists like before. You have Atanasov, you have Karyagin, you have Nikolov, you have Penchev, and what is the pass? What is
Yeah.
the foundation of the place? But yeah, now serve is the key, and of course another topic is the hybrid serve. Because we always think that, oh look, Leon, 150 kilometers per hour, but Norbert Hoover has have a hybrid serve. He's not a jump serve completely. Also Biniek, and they are capable of doing some damage because it is about that when you are ready to receive, the ball comes directed to your chest, and you barely can do nothing because I think uh, they sacrifice more power in order to have more control to know when the ball hits and such. And yeah, another thing to have into consideration, making a player to become a hybrid serve specialist is also a thing these days. So now you can see how the flow serve has evolved to jump, and the jump evolved to hybrid, and it's a combination of things that at the end of the day give you the edge over other teams. And I think that's why Poland won this championship, because they were effective this time on serve.
Yeah, I agree with you, especially on the point of Bulgaria. I am repeating it a lot of times that today we don't have that complex player who can receive an attack as before. Probably Martin Atanasov is the player who is closest to that definition, but not that close as we want to. And players like Plamen Konstantinov in the past are gone for us at least, and that's the reason why players like Alexander Slivko, for example, are that valuable for their teams because they could do anything and give the balance for the teams. When it comes to serving in general, I would say that yesterday's match was the proof for that, how serving changes and how the change in serve is changing volleyball, because the now probably with training methods, probably with better physical preparation and condition, hard serving, strong serving, jumps, hard jump serves are becoming much more consistent. The errors, I would say, are decreasing. For example, yesterday Huber has, I checked it, not five faces with only five errors. Amazing proportion. And these serves are very hard to receive. The fact that Yannick Kovacic, for example, could leave on the third, fourth meter 128 kilometers per hour bump by alone is amazing. But even from that position, you can't play with the middle. Or if you can, it could be a suicide. So that changes volleyball in a way that attack is more difficult. Defending, blocking, and defending when they are on a good level are becoming a little bit easier. Of course, if you know how to do it, how to do them, and then you have counterattack. That this is serving is the. I like this phrase of yours that the serve is the first attack. Attacking from serve means that the attack of the opponent is going to be with not that influence like before. Like, for example, with some of the Bulgarian serves, but this is another topic. And that could be the reason for longer rallies and for more enjoying volleyball to watch. And from that point of view, I believe that the development of the serve, and not only the strength of the serve, the speed of the serve, but their consistency, serving consistency, is influencing volleyball a lot. Okay, let's go back to the teams, and I will let's say it mix two topics. First is Slovenian consistency, because Slovenia has a silver medal in 2015, silver medal in 2019, silver medal in 2021, and a bronze medal in 2023. What do you think is the reason, except for the fact that they have this great generation, but I would say also the level of European volleyball? Do you think that I have this statement that the average level with teams like Romania. Uh, I don't know if to put Ukraine in this list, but Portugal. I don't know how many.
Turkey.
Netherlands, Turkey is a great example. Netherlands have the biggest progress comparing to other teams now, but the level of other teams, let's say at higher level, is going down, like Bulgaria, Serbia. I would say Germany, and so the gap between the best teams like Poland, Italy, France, Slovenia, and the other is increasing. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, is how good you develop your young categories. At the end of the day, you can only be successful, of course, if you have talented players, but there will not be future after. I mean, after this generation, I don't know what's going to happen to Slovenia because I don't see any John Serrer. I don't see any what happened with Tonche Stern. I don't see two more oxide hitters that can help Rokmosic, and this is will be a thing. Of course, Serbia, you have bring several famous volleyball player here. They are explain to you what is going on in Serbia. Uh, Serbia was a team that won U19 World Championship back in 2011, and in 2000, the same year, I don't know, they got bronze. That was the generation of Uroš Kovacevic. After that, I don't know what happened to Serbia. They stopped to develop. Of course, they have young players like Kuchunchik, the famous Aquaman, but this is not enough. You know, Drazen Luburic is being the starter opposite at the age of what, 30 years?
Yeah,
What
something like this, I think.
So I don't see any future. Of course, they are putting everything they have because they currently in Olympic qualification spot. They will give everything they have to at least keep hold that position. You know, for some teams like Serbia and Netherlands, that's the main key in this Olympic qualification. They don't have the strength to win the directly spot, uh, but they can hold. And how do you hold? Finishing the games in 5 sets, and I think it's a very good chance. I mean, for teams like Netherlands who have a player like Nimir to do this. So I believe, of course, after Nimir's departure, we will see a different team in Netherlands. And I think after Paris, he will say enough with the national team because I have to prioritize my club career because after all, that's what bring him the money to have a life. You know,
If they qualify.
they will. They will. I see the the last spot be taken by Iran, Cuba, or other team. I don't know who will be, but that because now Iran have an advantage of 30 points, but from all those teams, the worst thing that I've seen, like not having evolved more like unevolved, is this team of Iran. They were simply obliterated in the Asian Championship 3-0 by Japan, and yeah, despite all the dubious organization they have with that annoying sound of the trumpets or something like that. But the as you mentioned, the medium level is there, but is not enough to challenge still the world best teams, the historic teams like Poland, Italy, France have declined now, but I think they have a good generation there, U21, U2019, something like that, that will bring new joy from the national team. Also, it's hard to be motivated after you win an Olympic Games, and this is one of the reasons that you see teams winning a gold medal at the Olympics, and then they disconnect the ship and they don't want to know nothing about it anymore. So yeah, of course we will always be paying attention to Russia, because even though the problems they have with the war and etc., they had a very competitive national team too. So yeah, those four teams. I don't know if you saw something about France. It is a shame to see players like Mbappé in such a bad shape. Also, the opposites didn't went too well. Jean Patry he's having like a mental blockade after the Olympics. I don't think that every oh sorry, all the fault was because of Paulo Porro setting. He had his problem, but you cannot put everything on him. So he will go to the Polish Plus Liga next season. Also, Boyer didn't impress me much. They have a young player called Timothy Carley. He's a young prospect, very tall. Let's see in what he develops, but it will be very hard to replace a man like Mbappe in the future, because even with his personal problems, he was or he is a leader in the court, and that's a very hard thing to have nowadays. So yeah.
Okay, I would say that we can go to the last topic I have in my mind, and this is winning VNL, winning European Championship. And what I mean is that Poland in men won the VNL, and then they won the European Championship. And Turkey in the women's section, they won the VNL, and now they won the European Championship. Some would say that this is normally consistency, but I don't think that was the case in the years before. I mean, with the World League to win the next big uh, championship after the World League, of course, there could be, of course, some cases when this happened, but I don't think that was the rule.
Well, you have to take into consideration one thing. In the women's section, we have seen a team like Italy falling apart in the middle of the season because of internal problems.
Yeah,
That leave you with just one team to face Turkey, and that was Serbia.
Serbia. Yeah,
They could what they have to win the match, but at the end of the day, one player was the decisive factor, and was Melissa Vargas. At the VNL, of course, it was a different situation. Many teams really don't care too much about VNL. Of course, Poland had a good run. They didn't good too well at the European Championship. They had Turkey in their path, but yeah, of course, there is there is a funny topic. Both of those teams had a former Cuban, and both of them were
yeah.
MVP of the European Championship. So you know, I have mixing feelings about this, because I know that if they were staying in Cuba, maybe they wouldn't want anything of that, or having the life that they have now. So good for them, especially for Leon, that has been criticized over those 5 years that he has been in the Poland national team. But yeah, um, I'm in one of the people that say in women if Turkey didn't have Melissa Vargas and Serbia didn't have Tijana Boskovic, Turkey is still a better team than Serbia. Uh, Santarelli has been doing an amazing job, changing some of mentality, changing, of course, Karakurt to outside hitter position, and leaving Vargas alone. And yeah, has been the keys for this, let's say, success of the Turkish national team. They have been like years that they went too good. They have been close to an Olympic medal and has been denied over the years. And maybe this year we will next year we will have something different. Not only aiming for a medal but aiming for gold in both cases. So Poland in the men's and Turkey in the women. But yeah, of course, for me, the women European Championship is weaker in terms of parity level, than the men counterpart. Even in the men, you have, like you mentioned, those medium high level teams, like Turkey, like Netherlands, Germany, making some noises, trying to give some show before they lose, and you don't have that in women. You only have what, Serbia, Italy, Turkey, now Poland.
Netherlands, Poland. Probably Poland is one of those teams that are
I
not
think
the highest
Poland,
level, just
yeah,
after the highest level.
Poland, I think didn't have good luck in the draw. If
Yeah.
you take close, if you look closely, I say that Poland is a better team right now than Netherlands. But they have
Yeah.
a very good draw. So it is what it is. Maybe if Netherlands had to play Turkey, they wouldn't go that far. So, but they ended win the bronze medal, not with a controversy, because of the situation in the Italy national team. But that's none of Netherlands' business. They went there and won, and that's it.
Yeah. And let's say it in this way that Poland reached the same stage in the European Championship as Bulgaria, and Bulgaria is clearly a much uh, a team that don't have that quality in it. Okay, I believe that we had enough of the topics we had prepared for today. I would be very happy when Nico is back, because I would like to hear also his opinion on Italy, not only men but also women, because in the women's team there are a lot of problems with Egono not playing in the Olympic qualifier, with Malinov out, with Oro injured now for the Olympic qualifier.
Bossetti, Bossetti,
Rossetti out,
Chicchirella, Cicirella.
Kirikera out also. Di Gennaro is not in the team, so this is almost one starting six that is not playing in the national team, and this is influencing clearly the ambitions and the objectives that the team and the results, of course, that the team could have had in the European Championship. But okay, we can wrap it up here. Thank you for your active participation, for your expert opinion, and I would suggest that the next podcast will be before the start of the
Olympic qualification, man.
Olympic qualification men. We can also discuss what happened in the Olympic qualification women, because it's now ongoing. And of course, then we'll have our first podcast about the Italian Championship, in which we are going also to discuss what happened in Olympic qualifier men. But this is after 2-3 weeks, so we have enough time until then. So for now, that's for us, and watch us also the next time for Volleyball Explained in the social media, for Cuban Spike, for Pilole di Volley in Facebook and Twitter, the page of Nicola, and see you the next time. Bye bye.